Welcome to Greve in Chianti, in the heart of Chianti Classico, an area rich in history and tradition, ready to be discovered. Together we'll unearth treasures revealed at every turn, perfumes that fill the senses, subtle colours of the countryside and the taste of food and wine that is unique the world over. Accompanied by the warm welcome of the people, we will visit hamlets, castles, abbeys and the enchanting hidden corners of this area, all capable of surprising visitors, leaving indelible memories in the eyes and souls of all who come here. The district of Greve in Chianti is in Tuscany, between Florence and Siena, in the centre of the famous Chianti area. It covers 169 square kilometres from the Florentine hills to the Chianti mountains. The history of Greve in Chianti, from medieval times, has been marked by the existence of the crossroads at its centre, not only midway between Florence and Siena, but also between the Valdarno and Val di Sieve. Not coincidentally, Greve was one of the most popular market towns of Tuscany, with its famous triangular square surrounded by the covered walkway, a place for the exchange of goods and meeting people. The weekly market still occurs on Saturday mornings, an unmissable date for Chianti residents and tourists. Plus the farmers' market, Il Pagliaio, every fourth Sunday of the month. There are seasonal events such as the Antiques Market every year on Easter Monday. The flower festival that fills the square with colour and floral perfume and numerous other events. At the high end of the square, on the site where since the 1800s there has been a medieval chapel, is located the neo-Renaissance church of Santa Croce, designed by the architect Luigi di Cambrai Digni. Positioned on the hillside above Greve, easily reached in 20 minutes by foot, in a domineering and privileged position overlooking the valley, is the hamlet of Montefiorale, with its castle traceable through documentation to the period just after the year 1000. Developed around the historical dwelling, the hamlet has an elliptic shape with its main road running through its entirety and several small alleys leading externally to the hamlet walls that look down over the wonderful surrounding countryside. On St. Joseph's Day, March the 19th, Montefiorale celebrates with its renowned Sacra delle Fritelle, where local sweets are deep-fried and sold by the residents. In May, wine takes the fore with the annual I Vini del Castello, a celebration involving the whole hamlet and offering wine tasting and evening entertainment. Following the road that from Greve passes through and beyond Montefiorale, one comes upon the Pieve di San Cresci, dating from the early years of the 12th century and subsequently remodelled, as can be seen from its facade in the neo-romantic style with a combination of the white of the Albarese stone and the local red of the terracotta. Dominating the Greve Valley, other than the aforementioned Montefiorale, are a further two historic castles. The Castello di Vicchiomaggio, dating from the 1400s, and today a national monument, is characterized by its turreted tower surrounded by defensive walls and castle dwellings. Not too distant is located the Castello d'Averezzano, with its Etruscan origins and subsequent Longobardo developments. Originally the property of the noble Verrazzano family, whose most famous son was the explorer Giovanni and whose statue reigns over Greve's square. These two wonderful castles are the settings for one of the most important cultural events of the summer season in Greve, the Daniel Ferro vocal program, dedicated to lovers of classical music and providing the opportunity to enjoy listening to the concerts of the Juilliard School students in these magnificent Chianti locations. Beyond Greve, in the direction of Siena, the road rises towards the village of Panzano, with its castle dating from the end of the year 1000. This village was involved in the conflict between Florence and Siena for the control of the Chianti area, as can be seen by the walls of the war-damaged towers that originally would have been much higher. In a domineering position within the antique hamlet, the church, Chiesa di Santa Maria a Panzano, was reconstructed at the end of the 19th century on the site of a medieval place of worship. In Panzano, as well as the weekly market, there are two well-known events: the Festa della Stagion Buona, every 25th of April, and Vino al Vino, held in the third week of September. Just to the south of Panzano is the Roman Pieve di San Liolino, with its facade fronted by a Renaissance-covered lodge with Tuscan. From Panzano, by foot or by bike through the vineyards and woods of Chianti, one reaches the hamlet of Lamole, reachable also by car taking a short detour off the main Chiantigiana highway. Along this road is found the Villa Vignamaggio, with its origins dating from the 14th century at the hands of the Gherardini, whose famous daughter Mona Lisa, legend would have us believe, was immortalized here by Leonardo da Vinci. The villa was also the setting for the 1993 movie Much Ado About Nothing, directed by Kenneth Branagh. Lamole, dominated by the medieval castle and the church of San Donato, is the location for several cultural events such as Lamole summer concerts and the Profumi di Lamole, during which it is possible to meet the local wine producers and sample their Chianti Classico wine, characteristic to this area and to the location, which is particularly suited to wine production due to its exposition and land. To the east of Greve, on the Figline road in direction Valdarno, a turning leads to the small village of Lucolena, well known for its timber production and its chestnuts. Every October, the village hosts the famous Chestnut Festival, involving all the locals and those who love this food. Located higher in the hills in a particularly lush and unspoilt scenic landscape is the Park of San Michele, an excellent starting point or destination for those wishing to explore the area on foot, by bicycle or on horseback along the many tracking paths, revealing unforgettable glimpses of rural life. the north are two localities of importance that are well populated: Strada in Chianti and San Polo. Strada has grown up along the Chiantigiana road and is the second most populated locality in the district due to its proximity to Florence. Every third Sunday in September, the village celebrates the popular Fiera, the occasion for the 5 small areas of the village to challenge each other to games that last a whole week, concluded by a parade of decorated floats and the presentation of the Cencio dell'Orcio to the winning area. San Polo in Chianti, together with Poggio alla Croce, is famous throughout the area for the production of Florentine irises. The giaggiolo, a flower that bears witness to the continental rural culture of this area, and that is at the centre of the festival held every year in the first days of May. Wine, oil, timber, and irises, they all represent, as we have seen, the heart of the Chianti Florentine economy.
Trying hard to stay off that track, but my one
Supporting these traditions and giving value to the quality of the local wine farms, the Consorzio del Vino Chianti Classico manages and currently represents 95% of the wine producers. In July 2012, the Comune di Greve decided to place more emphasis on agriculture through the constitution of a bio-district, adhering to the principles of the Italian Association for Biologic Agriculture. Boosted by the existence of several organic wine producers already operating in the area, the bio-district has a clear objective to fully activate and utilize the natural resources, both productive and cultural, strengthening them by political and local implementation of choices that favor the well-being of the environment, of traditions, and of rural knowledge. Alongside these outstanding producers, in the district of Greve exist other local activities that are characterized by the harmonious relationship between countryside and tradition. Every one of these rolling hills is the location for historical country homes and farm dwellings that are often run as agritourisms and welcome visitors from all over the world to a genuine rural ambience that in no way is harmful to the environment. The wide plains have favored the development of small farms, breeding Cintasanese boar, sheep, and goats, all reared by the principles of biosustainability and establishing an enduring tradition for quality meat, salami, and cheeses. Environmental sustainability and the economy go hand in hand in Greve, also from the point of view of the growth of renewable energy and biomass, both developing realities that contribute to the preservation of nature, whilst at the same time reducing the costs of the environmental impact of the area. Travelling through Chianti and enjoying it at a necessarily slow pace permits one to encounter memorable and fascinating places and people. This philosophy of slowing down, interpreted as a rediscovery of natural beauty and the pleasure of the palate, is at the origin of the positive idea that led to the founding in 1999 of the Slow City Circuit. Today, this network has grown to a total of 176 cities in 27 countries worldwide and has evolved into one of the most important cultural reference points to good living by following the rhythm of nature. The wine, the agritourism activities, the artisans and artistic heritage could not thrive and prosper without the people, the residents of this magical place. People who give their best by participating in many cultural and folkloric events that occur in several different occasions throughout the year, some of which we have encountered on our journey together. If you are lucky enough to come to Greve in early September, you may witness in the main square and surrounding roads the parade of the 8 areas of the town that enchant the crowds with their decorated floats and costumes, celebrating a different theme each year. The high point of the Greve season is the Expo del Chianti Classico, held annually on the second weekend of September in Greve, and the chance to meet with the Gallo Nero producers at their tasting stands, all accompanied by cultural events dedicated to Bacchus and held over the entire duration of the event. In the past few years, for our younger visitors, we have designated an area near the town's swimming pool to live musical entertainment. Finally, in October, it is the turn of the Cuochi e Pecorai event that has its origins in the historical tradition of cooking meat on open grills and enticingly filling the air in the square with wonderful cooking aromas and allowing visitors to sample excellent Florentine steaks whilst enjoying a glass of local wine. Culture in Greve in Chianti also means art and literature. The contemporary public art event Tuscia Electa since 1996 has involved the whole of the Chianti area, and progressively through the years, artworks and installations by more than 50 artists have been created, steadily enriching some of the more symbolic locations of the district. The first edition of the Literary Award Chianti took place in 1987 and has subsequently grown year by year to the current 350 plus participants, from which a technical jury decides on an overall winner, chosen from 5 selected finalists. Reading can always be encouraged through public libraries. On May 1, 2013, the municipality of Greve opened the new town library, thus renewing an important place of culture and meetings. The building, inspired by the typical materials of the area, predominantly terracotta, houses a heritage of nearly 30,000 monographs, 1,000 audio-visual items, periodic publications and music CDs. Good food is an ever-present feature of a trip to Greve in Chianti. The culinary tradition of the area has been maintained to a high level of quality thanks to the preference for produce sourced locally and the ability to update traditional recipes without foregoing the simplicity and authenticity of a cuisine that has at its heart the excellence of local products. All this, of course, accompanied by excellent Chianti Classico wine. And respect for the landscape. These are the hallmarks of this little paradise for the senses, somewhere to visit at any time of the year. a magical place that is just waiting to surprise and leave you with unforgettable memories.